This mysterious man named Joe is actually Death, who controls life and death. He borrowed the body of the young man Susan fell in love with at first sight and came to media mogul Bill's house to experience life. And Susan, as Bill's most beloved youngest daughter, toward this familiar yet strange man in front of her, developed an inescapable curiosity and love. In their following time together, the relationship between Joe and Susan quickly heated up. Susan was always drawn to Joe's deep eyes, and Joe also, in this forbidden romance, experienced the sweetness and shock of human love for the very first time. When Bill caught the two kissing passionately in the living room, this father, nearing the end of his life, was completely furious.
So you kissed Susan?
Yes, I saw you see.
Well, you're at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong woman.
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm her father.
With all due respect, I'm not asking your permission.
Then you goddamn my son!
He could tolerate death taking his own life, but absolutely couldn't accept death taking away his most beloved daughter. He sternly warned Joe that this relationship was a mistake from the very beginning. To find an answer, Joe went to the hospital again and found that old woman suffering from a terminal illness. The old woman hit the nail on the head with the wisdom of someone who's been around. She told Joe that the person Susan really fell in love with was that young guy in the coffee shop and not the real Death. True love isn't about selfish possession, but about learning to let go. The old woman's words sent Joe into deep thought. Even someone as cold as death was eventually trapped by love. In the blink of an eye, the grand banquet for Bill's 66th birthday was held as scheduled. This wasn't just a celebration, but more of Bill's farewell to this world. At the banquet, Bill cleared the air with his eldest daughter, who had always felt left out. The father and daughter hugged tightly, and years of distance vanished into thin air. But Joe, at this moment, still wanted to selfishly take Susan away from the human world. He announced his decision to Bill in an unquestionable tone. This time, Bill didn't lose his temper, but calmly told Joe that if he recklessly stole her future, then it wasn't true love at all. Joe finally woke up to reality. He found Susan to say his goodbyes. When Susan brought up their first meeting at the coffee shop, the warmth in Joe's body gradually faded away, and Susan felt an endless sense of parting. Death walked alone to the corner of the banquet and looked up at the gorgeous fireworks in the sky. He unconsciously touched the corner of his eye and shed a human tear for the very first time. At this moment, he learned to be moved and truly understood the meaning of love. Bill calmly walked over to Joe, and the two stepped onto their final journey together. When Susan desperately chased after them, she found a familiar figure appearing on the bridge. Death brought that young man's soul back and let him return to the human world. Death took away a romance that didn't belong to the human world, but left the best gift for Susan. Under the beautiful fireworks, Susan and the reborn young man held hands and walked toward their own future.